Right, we're going to get going in literally about 2 or 3 minutes time. And we got about 20 slides to get through and we will go from there. Good morning. Just drop a comment in the box. Let me know that you can see and hear me all okay. Obviously, we are here. People are still coming in. That's good to see. Good to see. To lock down our social media, and I've got 5 steps to take you through 5 principles to lock down your social media and make sure that you have some action steps to take away. Ba-ba-bam. Lisa said, Graham said you have done a warm-up. Nice. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Jude is now in the house, as well as Sheila as well. So we've got a few more people joining. We are literally going to get going in about 90 seconds time. There's a 40-minute time limit on today's recording. I just want to make sure they can see me, Hayley. Can they see me on my video? Because at the moment it says Amelia.
That's just so you can see. If you go to that button.
This one?
The middle one.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Superb. I can see people now. Superb, superb. Here we are. Hey. Right, let's let a couple more people in and we will get going. Carolyn's here as well. Superb. Right.
One thing though, if you leave those open,
yeah. So I'll get rid of them. Yeah. Cool. Let's make this big. Right. I'm just going to minimize the chat box, but you guys are I'm still going to ask you questions, and I'm just going to keep this box open just a little bit, just so I can see if anybody else wants to join in a minute. So let's see if I can make that a little bit smaller. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Right. Good morning, Neil here. We're here to lock down your social media when you don't know what to post, when to post, or have time. So I called this the Holy Grail to dominate your social media. And here we go, here we go. So who's this training for? Ultimately, it's fitness professionals, but in today's training, we do have a few other guests that are outside of the fitness industry. But what I'm about to show you is 100% relevant to managing your social media. Okay, so often we get asked here at Parallel, how do you fit everything all in? How do you stay consistent with your social media? You seem to post 3, 4, 5 times a day. You're on blogs, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're on YouTube, you do podcasts. How do you create tons of content all the time and make sure it's consistent, but also know that what content you are creating is actually going to yield a response, not just necessarily engagement of likes, comments, and shares, but ultimately the response of business and creating new customers, converting a prospect or a listener on Facebook into a paying client and create revenue. And how do you pull it off? That's the number one question we get asked inside the fitness business Kickstart is how do you pull this off time and time again? So at the bottom of the page, you can see if somebody posts once per day, they post 365 days per year. Here we go. Let's let this person in. Wicked. Whereas if the other person, another person, post 4 times per day, they post 1,460 times per year, which is 1,095 more times to seduction of good marketing and advertising of the people listening to them. Likelihood is the person posting once per day doesn't necessarily value social media. And the likely is that they post on a Monday, then they miss a Tuesday, they might post on a Wednesday, then they skip a Thursday and Friday because they forget, and they might do a token gesture over the weekend. So the reality is the person that's posting just once per day or 365 times per year probably isn't doing that either. They're more like once or twice a week. So drop a comment in the box below and let me know roughly how many times you post per day, okay, or per week. Be really honest, be really open, be really real with your answer. If you post once per week, that's okay. That's why you're on this call this morning. Okay, so go ahead, drop your comment in the box. Let me know that you can see and hear me all okay. And let me know how many times per day or per week you post. Okay, let's just make sure people are in. And I can see people commenting. So some people once per day, 3 times per week, 0. I really like the honesty there. Once a day-ish. I like the word ish. I try and post at least once a day, twice often. Superb. Right. So the main thing here is we're going to understand how to be consistent and how to put a social media diary together. So the problem is we don't know what to post. We don't know when to post it. We don't know how to post, how to schedule those posts. There's a little typo there. If it works, and is it worth it? And so many fitness professionals and business owners spend more time working in their business than on their business. We'll happily jump inside a client session. We'll happily jump inside talking to the client, helping them get from A to B. Yet we spend little time working on our business, working on our marketing, working on our advertising, working on our sales skills, which ultimately leaves us in this kind of guesswork, hoping that at the end of the day, it all pulls off. Because we're spending more time working in our business, not on our business. There's a few more people coming through. So again, just drop a comment in the box below in your chat and let me know how, let me go back. How many hours a week you spend working on your business? How many hours a week do you spend working on your business? So working on your development of marketing, on your development of sales, on your development of advertising, on the development of your social media platform, on your development of your accounting systems, on the development of your business. So let me know roughly how many minutes or hours you spend working on your business. The people that spend more time working on their business will have a strategy and leaving it less to guesswork and less to hope. So a few people commenting. Now, if we can cascade this problem down, leaving it to guesswork is inconsistent in terms of posting, spreading our messaging, allowing our marketing to reach more people. Therefore, no trust is built in the prospect. And any campaign that is in place is now tough to manage, and there's no guarantees of a sale. And any sales that do come through, the likelihood is you might feel a little bit pushy or a little bit sleazy, and therefore income is quite ad hoc. And now if we cascade further down this problem, if we're now posting more inconsistently, the posts we do put out there, we're pitching our sales more frequently. So we're asking our prospects, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, meaning we're having more withdrawals from trust. So rather than building up a lot of know, like, and trust, the people or persons that just post once or twice a week often pitch more frequently and therefore withdraw more trust from their ideal client, from their prospects, the people that are engaging. And consequently, we now feel more stressed, more anxious, and more self-doubt, and questioning whether or not social media works at all. And so we start to resent social media. We start to blame Facebook advertising for the lack of results. We start to blame Facebook groups, as opposed to looking at what am I doing working on my business, and am I developing a system, a strategy that is foolproof? So overall, if we cascade even further, we feel like ditching it. Now we post even less. Now you question it. Now family question your efforts, and eventually you give up. And we've seen this so many times, unfortunately, in the fitness industry. So what I'm about to show you is go through a set of principles that means you have a clear, foolproof way to target your ideal client and be super, super consistent. So The holy grail to dominate your social media. The plan, an entire month of posts and content and campaigns whilst gathering data along the way without it taking up too much time to elegantly deploy thumb-stopping marketing and adverts towards a very specific goal. That's what the next section of this presentation is, and the principles that you're going to go away and action today. So the goal here is to build your business, which means build more customers and build more revenue. And so many people starting out in fitness say, it's not about the money, it's not about money, I just want to help more people. Well, I'll have you consider that the more people you help, the more money you create. The more money you create, the more you can push more money into the business, work on your business, and help more people. So they go hand in hand. So the concept behind a social media calendar is to get more customers and create more revenue. Okay, and there's a right way to do this. And the 5 principles I want to show you are listed on screen. Number 1, start with the end in mind. So have a very clear goal of what it is you're aiming to do, what you're setting out for. Number 2 is map out your month and get clear on your data. We're going to go through each one of these steps very shortly. Number 3 is building know, like, and trust and understanding the type of content that you can deliver and put out to the big wide world. Number 4, breaking down barriers. And we've got an internal barrier, an external barrier, and a vehicle barrier that I want to show you today. And then finally, number 5 is building your campaign to suit your life. Okay, so you've definitely got enough time in your day to lock down your entire social media for a month and know that it's going to work. So principle number 1, start with the end in mind. So what you can see on screen is my holy grail. And you can see that I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7 days a week, and then enough boxes for the entire month. So each box represents one day. And I'm going to show you how to kind of micro plan very shortly. You can see at the top left, you've got month. So I've put April, COVID, month 1 in for this month. And then at the very top, you can see that I've got personal in and out. And that's my numbers, my bank account, my personal knowledge of what is in my bank accounts personally, what's going in and out this month. Then I've got my business bank accounts in and out. Then if I move across the top of a screen, I've got business, and I need to know my direct debit rollover. So you might not have direct debits. You might have standing orders. You might have cash flow from clients coming in. But what is coming in from last month still? So if you're collecting monies via Stripe or PayPal, there will be a delay in revenue from the previous month. Okay. On Stripe, it will be a 3-day delay. And in PayPal, I believe it's a 7-day delay. Knowing that number of delayed revenue allows me to get clear on my targets this month. Then underneath that, I've got my direct debit expected. You could have your cash flow expected, number of sales expected inside your business. And that's a very clear number of value of how much money is expected to come in this month. Okay, and if I go to the right of that, I've got predicted sales as well. So I would go back from previous months, the last 3 to 6 months, and work out my average sales per month from the different products or services that I offer and predict the number of sales. And they could be averages per day per sale. They could be averages per week. They could be averages per transaction. How much is the average transaction? And the more I go back to previous months, so I would do this for the last 6 months and work out averages, I can predict inside parallel almost to about 50 pence at the moment what our predicted sales are going to be versus at the end of the month what they actually are. And the last 2 months I've been about 50 pence out. So I start the first of the month with a very clear prediction based on previous data, and I can say to Haley and the team, in 30 days time, this is our revenue, this is our sales, and this is where our sales are going to come from. because I can look back at the facts or data and get clear on my targets, which is principle number one. Start with the end in mind. I'm at A on the 1st of a month, and B is at the very end of a month, the 30th of a month, or the 29th of a month, the 31st of a month. Where do I want to get to? How many clients do I want to have? How many clients do I want to keep going into the next month? How many clients am I going to ask for referrals? Where are those referrals going to come from? What income am I going to generate? Are they going to be repeat business? Is that going to be new business? How many leads am I going to create? Are they going to be leads whereby I speak to that person offline, online? Let's let a few people in. Here we go. Am I going to have those leads coming in via emails, via Facebook Messenger? How many leads do I want? How many leads do I need in order to see conversions? So it's probably not the best time today because we're talking about social media, but we could do another training around leads and conversions. I know that if I get 100 leads, roughly 42 of those leads will convert into a sale. So your lead to conversion ratio allows you to understand exactly how many sales are going to be made that month. And the more time you spend working on your business, you're going to get better at generating leads, better at generating meaningful conversations, and getting better at sales. But if you start with the end in mind, I want to earn X number of pounds this month. I want to increase my revenue by this month. I want to get this many more clients this month. If you know where you're heading, your brain can figure out all of the possibilities and opportunities to get you there. But if you don't have this principle number one from the outset, it's going to be incredibly tough. So principle number two is to map out your month and get clear on your data. Where are you right now? And this is when I speak to FitPros within kind of a business, perspective. They're not telling the truth. They're not real. They're not raw, and they're not relevant. They can't tell me the exact amount of monies in and out of their personal accounts, the exact monies in and out of their business account. They can't tell me the monies rolled over from last week, last month. They can't tell me what clients over money, or how much sessions are outstanding. They can't tell me anything about predicted sales or averages about their data. So mapping out your month is getting clear on your data, because if you know exactly what it is you want to achieve, we can now move into principle 3, 4, and 5 and understand what is going on. What do I need to post? When do I need to post it? In order to break down the people listening, the people engaging, to convert their mindset towards a sale, towards a meaningful conversation. But if I'm not clear on exactly where my data in my business is right now, I can't move forwards. Okay. So you could use something like Facebook analytics and see when people are posting, what's the average reach per post? What's the average amount of likes per post, comments per post, shares per post? What gets more likes compared to other pieces of content? What gets more comments compared to other pieces of content? What gets more shares compared to other pieces of content? So the more we know where we are right now, what's working right now, and where we're at, we can't move forwards. And if we stay inside principle number 2, mapping out our month, you can see here on screen that I've got my 30 days on screen. Each box represents one day. And you can see that a green dot inside a box is all about content, valuable content. And each one of those green dots, I am not going to ask for a sale. So you can see the example on screen, but I spend the first 11 days of the month in this example, and I don't ask once for a conversation or a lead or a sale. And then I hit Friday, Saturday, Sunday, campaign 1, where now I start to turn my attention towards asking and pitching. And people get paid mid-month. And you can see that on the left-hand side, mid-month payday. So I deliberately place a campaign towards a mid-month payday. That's when people have disposable income. If I put my campaign somewhere else in the month, at the beginning of the month, people don't have any money at that point. So I want to strategically place my campaign around mid-month and end-of-month payday. So I can build up 11 days of no like and trust, no like and trust, no like and trust. I can then place a different level of content inside my campaign where I start to move people towards a sales call, towards filling in online forms, towards filling in payment details. And then once midday payday is gone, my campaign 1 is over, and I then spend the rest of the month building up no like trust, and building up equity in my people listening, my followers, before I jump into campaign number 2 for that month, because at the end of the month, everybody hits payday. And every green dot represents a day where I post 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, but I don't ask for a sale. I'm only asking for a sale inside campaign 1 and campaign 2. Now, that's not to say you can't ask for sales elsewhere, but if I ask for a sale all the time, on every day, on every post, my followers are going to get hacked off with me, okay? And it's something I see a lot inside the fitness industry. Almost every post is a little bit of value, and then they end it with, get in touch and join my bootcamp. And every time you pitch, you're asking or taking a withdrawal away from that no like and trust. Whereas this strategy, every green dot represents a day and a number of posts. And if I build up no like and trust, no like and trust, no like and trust, I've got so much equity that when I reach campaign 1 or campaign 2, I'm allowed to ask, and it doesn't annoy the people following because I've given value in advance of asking. So if we take each one of these days, you can see there's a micro planning here. And you can see from a box that the platform I believe to be on is Facebook, but you could be on any platform here. And for parallel, I have a morning post, an AM post, a mid-morning post, which is my mock question, a lunchtime post, a PM post, and a late post. Now, I would go onto Facebook Analytics and see very specific times of when my users are on Facebook. So I know that my AM post, I have to put that on at 6:55. My mid-morning post is 10:25. My lunchtime post is 12:10. My PM post is somewhere around 3:30 to 4 o'clock, and I vary that one. And my late post is about 8 o'clock in the evening. There's no point posting if people aren't online, and your Facebook business page allows you to analyze when your followers are online, and therefore you can now track which type of content is working best. You can see at the bottom, I've got email. So I will email my followers every single day. And I've emailed daily, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a day for years. Okay, and there's 3 different lists within parallel. You might just have one list. You might have a prospect list and a clients list. How you talk to those lists or emails is going to feel and sound slightly different, because a prospect list, they haven't yet bought, whereas your client list, they have bought. And then you can see down the right-hand side, you could do a blog, you could do YouTube, you could do a podcast, you could do Twitter, Instagram, Facebook stories, Instagram stories. And if you don't have a website or blog, you could use Medium, which is a free way of blogging. Now, it's not to say that you need to have all of this in place right now today. So we can ditch the overwhelm. We can ditch that anxiety if it's building and thinking, oh my God, I can't do all of this straight away. I'm going to show you which ones you could do to make sure it's realistic and consistent, which is principle number 5. But at very least, if you're posting twice a day on Facebook, and then you're building up emails and you're just sending one email to start off with, maybe one email every other day and working up to one email a day. It might be that you have a YouTube channel. You might just say, I'm only going to post every Wednesday, which is one film per week, one video per week. Podcast, you might go, I'm only going to do it once per week. Instagram, you might say, right, I'm going to do 2 per day. And that is the same imagery as my Facebook 2 per day. So a lot of this stuff can be cross-pollinated as well. But the important things I want to go on to is principle number 3, which is building up know, like, and trust and the type of content. Because so many FitPros go straight for the marriage in their content. And I want you to consider for a second dating versus marriage in your content. And your know, like, and trust content, all those green dots earlier, where I'm not asking for anything other than consumption of my valuable content, is dating. So when 2 people go out for a date, they meet up, they have a chat, and they just have a cup of coffee. Then the next date, they go out for lunch. And then the next date, they go out for dinner. And then the next date, they might ask each other for a peck on the cheek. And then the next date, they might fully kiss. But it takes time in a dating scenario to build up that know, like, and trust in the other person until one day they get married. Now, most people in their social media, they go straight for the marriage. They go straight to asking, will you marry me? They go straight to asking, will you go to bed with me? Which is asking for the sale. Okay, they've built up know, like, and trust in previous posts in video format, audio format, text format, or imagery, photo format. Know, like, and trust built up. And they go straight into, come and join my boot camp. Do you want one-to-one sessions? Do you want this? Come and join my online training. And at the moment, as we sit in kind of this chaos of coronavirus, COVID-19, so many people are trying to convert their clients or prospects from face-to-face training to going online. And they're going straight in with the marriage question. Come online, come and join with me. As opposed to leading with a lot of value, a lot of know, like, and trust, and taking the social media route of dating. Those people that go down the route of dating lead to better, well-qualified clients where they have permission to ask them, just like somebody asking to get married, permission to ask them, do you want to buy my stuff? So with know, like, and trust, I've already mentioned you could do video, you could do photo, you could do audio, and you can do text. Now, video and text are probably the way forwards with good imagery. But the key thing here is you need to make sure that it's one consistent message. So if you're going to put text with a video, the text needs to complement the video. If you're going to put text with an image, it needs to complement the image. In order to do video, you could just use your phone. I've used the phone for all of Parallel's videos. No issues whatsoever. We don't need to overthink it. You just need to get used to being face to camera. So you could use things like InShot, VideoLeap, Camtasia, Canva, Snapseed, Cut Me In, PhotoFox, a whole host of free and small paid for apps to get your know, like, and trust. Principle number 4 is breaking down barriers, internal, external, and vehicle. Now, your content needs to break down internal barriers. So rather than just posting anything willy-nilly, doesn't make any difference what it is, we need to be challenging your prospects' self-doubt, their fears, their beliefs, their self-worth. So they might be saying, I'm not good enough to go to that class. I'm not good enough to be fit. I'm not good enough to be in that dress. I'm not good enough to take my top off on holiday. I wouldn't use that even if I did pay for that. So the moment you start challenging someone's internal beliefs, their barriers, in your content is the moment you start converting their mindset. External beliefs are somebody's thoughts and feelings around time, energy, money, commitment, travel, location, family, and work. And if your content challenges your client's perception of, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough energy, I don't have enough money, and show them that it is possible, and your content delivers this message, it converts their mindset towards engaging and buying. So for example, they might say, I can't afford the bootcamp at £50 a month. And you could have a post out that says it is £1, 1p per day, for example, which is less than the price of a cup of coffee. And now they can see that they go to Costa once or twice a day and they're spanking money elsewhere. And they could quite easily use that money in buying your bootcamp or your services. And so the moment your content challenges time, energy, money, commitment, travel, etc., it starts to break down someone's external barriers to why they don't engage and buy. And the final one is the vehicle, that they don't see value in your service or your product. They don't believe the process is going to get results. So this is where you could talk about other clients, testimonials. You could have walkthroughs of your program. You could have clear evidence that it does actually work. The vehicle is where they start to question, is it going to work for me? And the moment you start to challenge their beliefs and their emotions around your product or service, your vehicle that gets your client from A to B, from A where they are now to B to the transformation, is the moment they start to engage and see all of the reasons why they should join or sign up to you. So going back, internal, external, and vehicle are crux to managing your social media content. Principle number 5 is building your campaign to suit your life. And a lot of people say, I don't have time to post. So how many times can you post per day? I know that if I post 4 to 5 times per day, I will get X amount of revenue, because the top figures of personal in and out for the last 6 months tell me that to be the case. So the more I post, the more consistent I am, the more I can guarantee the numbers, the predictions to come through. So you might say, well, I can only really afford to have once or twice per day, in which case find out the timings using Facebook Analytics and schedule up to 28 days in advance using Facebook Creator, 1 to 2 posts every single day at very specific times, so you can build up know, like, and trust. And the next point down is mass production. And what I love about this is at the beginning of every month, I will go and do all of my AM posts. I will spend 2 or 3 hours and do all of my 6:55 posts for the entire month. The next day, I'll spend 2 or 3 hours doing all of my mid-morning posts and schedule all of them. So I'll do mass production. So rather than try and tackle it daily, which does take time, at the beginning of the month, I work on my business and go, right, mass production. And then the next point down is cross-pollination. I can take something from earlier on in the month and put it on another platform at the end of the month. So I can use the material I'm making right now and use it later in the month or at different times across different platforms, which means I don't actually have to make loads and loads of new content. I can just move it around as I need to. And being realistic, be realistic with your posting. It's better to do 2 posts very well every day, regardless of what life throws at you, than 5 posts on day 1 and 2 posts on day 2 and then none on day 3. Being realistic, 1 to 2 posts every single day without fail, and be consistent, because that's what your clients are really buying, is your trust, and trust is being consistent. So manage your day, manage your month around, is it realistic I'm going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to stay consistent with creating content of internal, external, vehicle? And managing your time around campaigns, knowing that mid-month is going to be incredibly busy if you get this right. But the end of the month is going to be incredibly busy. That's when you can't schedule things with the kids or schedule things with work or schedule a night out, because you know that those particular times of the month are going to be paydays. That's when we're going to make it rain. So if I set my month up, I know when I can go out. I know when I can zag. I know when I can go and have a drink. I know when I can meet up with friends. But I now know specifically when campaigns are in play, it's going to be on my business. And that's why I need to commit and be consistent with it. So the Holy Grail was start with the end in mind. Map out your month and get clear on your data. Build up know, like, and trust, content, video, audio, text, imagery. Break down the barriers using know, like, and trust of internal. What are they thinking in their brain? External. What's external barriers? Time, money, travel, people, family, work. And then the vehicle. The vehicle is their value and trust in your service, whether or not it's actually going to work. And then go ahead and build your campaign to suit you. Do 2 posts per day, 1 email per day, 4 posts per day. It doesn't matter, providing you are realistic to you and that you can be 100% consistent. So my task for you is to take action on this today. I'm going to jump inside the the parallel coaching inner circle and go on, do all of the question and answers in there. So come and join me for question and answers. I'll also find out who's on this recording and send you the template of the social media month calendar for you to fill in. Okay, so make sure you email us, info@parallel-coaching.com, and we'll get the names off here as well. But if you email us, we can send that across over the next day or so max. But ultimately, we will be putting this in the FitPros starter kit. So if you haven't got the FitPros starter kit, head over there. And also this recording will sit in the Fitness Business Kickstarter. So if you have got either one of those, this recording will sit in there as well with the document in the FitPros Startup Kit. So we've had tons and tons of information. We are coming close to about 60 seconds left. We're in the last minute. As I said, all question and answers will go inside the student inner circle very shortly. I hope you found value from today. It's been an absolute pleasure to take you through this. And if you do have any questions, please, please, please do come and join me. And that is a wrap. I will see you next time.